Okay, so this is my code for the Udacity business card sort of app. I've based it on a relative layout, and then within that I have an image view for the background, an image view for the logo at the top here, and then a series of pairs of text view and image views for the business information, and finally a text view at the bottom for this quote here. So going back up to the top, just going to talk through anything that might be a little bit different here. The imagery for the background is set to match parent to fill the screen. One new attribute that I hadn't used before was this Android Alpha, which sets the transparency of the image. I didn't want that image to be completely opaque because then the text would be quite hard to read. So I've set it to 0.3, so sort of 30% opacity there. Nothing else too new there. The image view for the logo, likewise, nothing new that I hadn't done before. Coming on to the business information, my initial plan was to use an attribute called Android Drawable, which allows you to insert a drawable within the text view. So it keeps the image and the text together within one view, which would be quite neat. Looking into how to do that and asking for a bit of advice on the forum seemed like it was a little bit beyond my understanding at this stage. But hopefully further on in the course I'll learn how to do that. And I'm going to come back to this app then and try and fix it to my original plan, because I think keeping these within one view would be a lot neater with the code. However, as I say, my knowledge is limited at this stage, so I just have simple text view and image view side by side. So within the text view, let's see if there's anything new. This attribute, Android Autolink, this one's set to map for the address. For the phone number it's set to phone, and for the website it's set to web. This attribute basically makes whatever device it's being run on check if this can be a sort of linked piece of text, i.e. when you click on the address it will pull up your Maps app on your phone and search for the address. Likewise with the phone, it enters the phone number into your phone app, and the website, it will pull up your browser and open up the website. Something else I did here that I hadn't done before was added in a new font, trying to find one that sort of loosely matched the font in the Udacity logo. So I searched online and found that this Maven was a similar font, and then a bit of googling again, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but found out how to add new fonts. So the way that was done was going into the design tab at the bottom of the screen here next to text. It takes a moment to load. And then when you click on one of the text views, the properties come up on the right hand side. And over at font family, open up the menu there and scroll down. There's a little button that says more fonts. And now you can basically search for any other font that is within this Android database. So, for example, I was searching Maven. Okay, it's not working. Anyway, you select the font there, click on it in the right and add it, click OK. And then when you go back to entering your fonts, it should appear in the preloaded fonts XML, which is part of your values folder over here on the left, Maven Pro Medium. Now, so the other thing I did for the first time here was to put the actual text itself in as a string within the strings XML, again in the values folder. So all the text that I was including in the app, the address, the phone number, the website, and the quote at the bottom, are all added in as individual strings here. It seems like that's best practice. Allows you to reuse them in multiple places, and you only have to change it once within that strings XML rather than each individual place throughout the code. Likewise with the color that I've used, this attribute is actually text color link and not just text color, because that's the color that the link will change to. For example, you can see the website here has changed into a link. It's been colored blue and been underlined. I'm not entirely sure why the address and phone number aren't the same. It works when I run the app on my phone, but within this preview window it's not working, presumably because there's no maps or telephone app that can be immediately opened from this, whereas this could open my internet browser. So yes, text color link, and then I've used the colors XML, sorry, to define my color, which is this Udacity blue, I've called it. It's a color that I tried to match to the blue used in the Udacity logo. Again, that means I only have to define that color once within the colors XML, and then I can just reference it on each of the individual text views. Moving on to the image views, nothing too much new there. Not particularly happy with how neat this is. I've got some fixed heights and widths, and using this fixed scaling, so that was just how I managed to get it looking how I wanted it, with the icons lining up with the text and at appropriate size. But I think, as I said, when I come back to it and learn how to insert the icons as drawables within the text view, hopefully I'll be able to get them scaled to match the text view, and they'll sort of increase or decrease as necessary automatically depending on the size of the text view, which will make the whole code a lot neater. So yeah, the properties in this text view and image view are kind of repeated for each of the different pieces of business information. And then finally, I have a text view aligned to the bottom of the screen with this quote, which came from the sort of mission statement page on the Udacity website. And nothing too interesting with that block of code. So that was it really, yeah. Overall, I've got it looking pretty much how I'd sketched out initially. My only thing that I'm going to come back to try and improve on, as I said, is these icons and getting them within the text views. So all in all, pretty happy with that.